it.
Hi, I'm Lisa with Ladybug, and we are here going to do a bee removal. Not an extermination, but a removal. They are in the shrubs, in the bougainvillea, and they go into the block wall partially and come out the bottom of the block wall partially. So we're going to get our bee suits on and see what we can do to get these guys out of here safely and relocate them where they'll be able to make honey, where they'll be able to continue to pollinate and be helpful for our food chain and be in a much safer environment. All right, be back in a minute. I'm here with Rich and Chris from Bee Bustin', and we've got the smoke going and removing some of these branches to get to these bees.
Careful your hand.
Mm-hmm.
I know, ladies, you don't like this the slightest little bit. Some big old mean guy in a white suit coming and messing with you.
Did that whole big bee ball drop into that bucket?
Yeah. Taking some of the hive will help ensure that they go into the bucket.
Here's a piece of block that we took out, and some chunks of the honey. Wow. And we've clipped some branches back so we can better see these bees. Wow. Some of the comb.
They're going to run from you, so what you want to do is you want to kind of coax them off of it. By hand? Yeah, or just start scraping. Naturally, there's a little cavity in every bee removal you do.
Wow.
Okay, so this is no good because of the pollen that's in there, correct? Oh, no, it's still okay. It's just, like I said, just don't put too much in there. Okay. Now, this will show you some length and time for these bees. Oh, that's old. Some old comb that these bees have been working on. And then also, what you have queen cells on here, which is probably what those bees were waiting for. And you can see that this hive has actually been here long enough for these bees to swarm a couple of times because these are just brand new queens. Sometimes the bees will actually reproduce a new queen just because their Africanized queen isn't laying enough brood for them. But those are some nice examples of the queen cups from the queen cells. So, a nice chunk of brood.
Wow.
Right there. So that's always neat. That's probably what all those bees were doing outside, is they were just waiting for their queen to finish breeding. But I don't see any drones, so it's hard to say. Another queen cup right there. Nothing in it. Decent honey on the outside edge of that, though. So now, who's going to be doing the processing of the honey?
Well, what would you do with all these big chunks?
Well, these big chunks here, I would do is I'd take a piece of glass and I would set it on top of the bucket let Mother Nature bucket. Let Mother Nature cook it with the sun, so all the wax will melt and the honey will separate from it. Everything will separate really nicely, and then you can just take the wax off the top, filter the honey in a piece of cheesecloth. You know, usually I just take a piece of cheesecloth and fold it up about 4 times, and just let it run right through there when it's hot from the sun, and then your finished product basically can just go into a jar of your liking that you can eat it out of.
Wow.
And that's what you call raw honey. Here's another clean cup, another clean cup, another clean cup. So this actually produces, this hive is actually produced because they're in such a small space. They swarm more frequently probably. And the fact of it is unfortunately for your friend and her house and her hive, she's probably plagued a lot of people with bees.
Wow.
Honey again? I'm not sure. Perfect finished edge of a comb came off the block. Nice and beautifully clean edges. All brood comb. A lot of brand new brood in there. Eggs. Queen was doing her job.
Wow.
She's doing a really good job. Another nice chunk of brood comb there we can throw back into their hive. Because we do this every day, all day. More honey coming out.
Wow.
Cool.
Unbelievable.
Reddish honey in there.
Yeah.
It's either one, the bees decided to pick up off of a hummingbird feeder, or 2, they had some cactus rats to pick up.
Well, this yard has a lot of different kind of vegetation and things going on, so it's probably added to the...
That's why it's such an exotic tasting honey. It's such a good because it's not anything you're going to buy in a grocery store. That's for sure. I mean, that's just honey. This is goodness on itself right there. Can't get any more organic than that. Right? Running out of space. All right, we're almost done.
Wow.
That was probably a pint-sized jar full of honey right there. One fell swoop.
Well, you're the expert. How much honey do you think we get out of this pan full here that we have of comb?
How much do you think it weighs?
8 pounds? Somewhere between 5 and 10 pounds?
Somewhere between 5 and 10 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
12 pounds per gallon. Honey weighs heavier than water.
Wow.
So if you look at that, you probably almost have a gallon of honey. And actually, by looking at it, I would probably say that's a pretty accurate guess. Probably a full-on gallon of honey.
Good old bees on the bottom, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I needed the bee vacuum, because they're just not wanting to cooperate. They're being typical Africanized bees.
And when you vacuum them up, they just stay contained in that vacuum?
Yeah, it's got a cage inside of it. It's a soft vacuum, so what it does is it's actually, it vacuums them up with soft pressure, so that way they actually will stay all together and they'll huddle in there and we can transfer them later.
Wow.
Good.
Still all these bees down below, and they're going to put them in a vacuum and take them away that way. And most of them will survive just fine.
This is great. They were overly sized on that whole thing there, so yeah, I mean,
Here we are after the bee removal. I've spent several hours processing the honey and separating out the beeswax from the honey. And here I have almost 1 gallon in my jars of honey from that hive, which I will happily give to many people. And the beauty is, it really has some wonderful flavors because the yard it came from was like an exotic jungle. So the bees had plenty of different things to be feeding off of and pollinating with, and it's just fabulous. So, thank you to those honeybees. They're off and doing their job elsewhere. We got a lot of great honey from it. And once again, we were able to do an environmentally friendly way of dealing with the bees and just getting them relocated. All right, take care. Bye-bye.